So we're studying Hebrews 13:20, which reads, "Now may the God of peace, who through the blood of the eternal covenant brought back from the dead our Lord Jesus Christ, that great shepherd of the sheep." Let's look at part 3. We've looked at part 1, which is the God of peace. We've looked at part 2, the blood of the eternal covenant. Now let's look at part 3, where the writer says, brought back from the dead our Lord Jesus Christ. The writers of the Bible after the death of Christ were eyewitnesses of the life of Christ before the death of Christ. Matthew, John, Paul, Peter, James. Paul was more of an eyewitness of Jesus after his ascension, but he was around during that time. He was in Jerusalem during that time. Whether he ever saw Jesus, I'm not sure. We know Matthew did. We know John did. We certainly know James did, because he was the brother of Jesus, and Peter certainly did as well. They all wrote letters. The letters that you and I have contained in the Bible are real letters written by real people at a real time in history, describing real events that they saw. The word eyewitness is used by these writers. These writers will say, I was an eyewitness. And I know Peter does for sure. The others say that they saw Jesus, they heard Jesus, they touched Jesus. So they're writing about real eyewitness events of Jesus. They're writing factual evidence of Jesus. This Bible you hold in your hand is real history. It's as historic as anything written about George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, any of the other historical figures of the United States of America, or any other historical figure in any part of the world. This is history that you're holding in your hands. When you read the book of Luke, you're reading a historian. Matthew was an eyewitness. John was an eyewitness. Peter was an eyewitness. Paul was an eyewitness of Jesus after his resurrection, at his ascension. James is an eyewitness. Either they're all lying or they're telling the truth. One of the things that makes it so believable is something happened in these guys' lives where they go from denying Jesus and running from him to dying for him. Paul goes from killing believers in Jesus to getting people to become believers in Jesus. I mean, something happened, and what they're saying that happened in their lives was they saw the resurrected Jesus. They saw him. They were eyewitnesses. You can read about these eyewitness remarks in the scriptures. John chapter 1, verse 2. I'm sorry, Luke chapter 1, 2. John chapter 1, 1 through 14. John 20, 25 through 29. Acts 1, 11. Acts 1, 21 through 22. Acts 4, 1 through 2. Acts 4, 13. Acts 4, 20. Acts 5, 32. Acts 9, 27. Acts 10, 39 through 41. Acts 13, 31, Acts 22, 15, 26, 16, 1 Corinthians 9, 1, Hebrews 2, 1 through 3, 1 Peter 2, 16, 1 Peter 5, 1, 1 John 1, 1 through 3, and 1 John 4, 14. They're all saying that they were eyewitnesses of Jesus. We saw him, we heard him, we talked to him. You can believe what we're saying. I've written an article on the Grace Reach website. It's gracereach.org. It's called, Can the Bible Be Trusted? And so if anybody wants to do some more study on, can you trust what you're holding in your hand, what's called the Bible? Can you trust the writings of Matthew, of Mark, of Luke, of John, of Peter, of James, of Paul? Can you trust what you're reading? I say that you can. I say it's real history there.